improbability that a lot of us love in electronic music. It's not always very predictable. Some of the beauty of it back in the day, you move a knob and it fucked up the whole record. You know, and that was it. You had a good record, you messed with it too much, you didn't catch it when you got it. And that's what's special about me and him. It's going to be some stuff tonight that we won't be able to reel back. And only y'all heard it, and we won't be able to do it again. So we had a record called Moment in Time, and that was why we made that record. It's a unique moment in time, and it also is like a lack of commercialism. You know, it's like, I don't give a fuck if I missed it. Come back and get it again. You know, it's that kind of space pioneer shit, you know, where you might have just blew a whole lot of money, but fuck it, you know, you can't get it back. And that's what makes it special. And we make a real effort to try to catch that aesthetic on the record. It's man machine, not machine. It's man machine. You know, so I hope that answers.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is important from a music side because Mike, first of all, is a musician. He started as a guitarist and a keyboard player, as a turnist, with play incredible band like Funkadelic and stuff like that back in the day. And then obviously this is something very important for him to arrive at this point. So I would like to have also the point of view from Mark. Mark is an incredible DJ, and obviously this connection between music and real music and DJ, how is for you, you know?
Okay, I started doing this back in the 80s, like early 80s. I actually started from my dad. I would DJ in the basement, and he didn't like it. He played all the instruments and everything, and he was wondering why I picked DJing to play other people's records when I can, we can make and play our own. And so I had to show him. So he came in the basement, I DJ'd, I showed him. He was like, okay, now that's great, but what makes you different than any other DJ? And then I was like, I don't know, this is all I had. He was like, yeah, that's what I thought. That's a little boy's answer. He said, you need to incorporate something with your music, not just, if you're gonna play music, at least play along with it. So my father was he played, guitar, bass, drums, congas, and things like that. So I'm DJing down there, and he's in the other room playing congas along with the track. And so I walk in there. He's like, "Yeah, this sounds good, right?" He's like, "Yeah." So he brought the congas next to me, and while I was DJing and playing, I was recording him. So I'm gonna record him, and when I go out to play, I'm gonna play what he did. I had this, I think it was a TAC. It was a tape deck that had a pitch control on it. So I would mix the turntables and use the pitch from the tape deck to keep it going. Later on we got a drum machine, so I put the drum machine, him playing congas, that I'll play bongos, whatever, so I'll make my own remix of the song. This was like literally in 1981, 82. And we were doing that then. And so when I went out and started playing in my neighborhood, people started knowing me for that. I was the DJ, but I would also bring equipment with me. Like I had a 909 also. I played the 909 and I'll mix the records and acapellas together. I'll make some percussions or whatever, and I'll mix acapella in the drum machine. And my brothers at that time, they were rappers, so we'd do a whole show off of this. And I would keep doing these shows, and people recognize me by doing those shows in my neighborhood. I can do 2 shows a night. Do one show here and go across town and do another show. That's how the name Flash came up. It was it was actually just me and my brother. We look alike. So I would be at one, and he'd be running the other. Then I'd go over there, and he'd switch places, and we'd go back and forth. And people would look at us like, I just seen you. Like, that was really my brother. So you like the Flash, and that's kind of how it all started. But doing this music thing like this, my father really taught me a valuable lesson about, being different. You have to stand out there. If you don't, my father, he said, the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is extra. You have to do something extra. So that's what I started doing. And that's when I found You Are, they were extra. They were doing things like that. They let me, let me have my own ideas, and put them to work and see how they turn out. Depth charge is just another concept, another idea that we put together. So, and I'm happy with that. Happy to do this with Mike. So, hey.
Yeah, and this connection between DJ and music obviously lead us to UMI. UMI is an important project at the music school. Yeah, obviously that was run by YG, but obviously Underground Resistance is a lot into this. And not only in this, because Underground Resistance, people like even Cornelius and Mark and you are into teach to the new kids. And this is really important for you, I know a lot. So obviously this is something that I want you to speak about to the people, because it's really important.
I think it's real crazy if everybody's supposed to be a futurist and then you don't put nothing to the future. The kids is the future. I see all y'all old school out there, and our time is coming. We're getting a little stiff and everything, but we go to school tonight. But they are the future, and I lived in a city where wasn't too much concern about the kids and the future. So we figured, all I can say is this: every record y'all bought from us, you can come over there in Detroit and stand in it and watch the new kids do their thing. We got a young lady with us right now. She's training to be a manager. And Cornelius, that's our manager. He handles all kind of crazy stuff that I don't know how to deal with. But, even the business part of it, the aspects of publishing, all this kind of stuff, young people can help. And they are our future, and as older people, we have to give them love. I'm gonna tell y'all a story. My grandfather caught me talking to a girl on this phone one time, right? So I'm kicking it with her. What's up? Yeah. So he said, "Hey boy, what's that you got upside your head?" I said, "It's a new kind of phone." So he looked at me and said, "Yeah, I should chat your grandmother up on the phone. Shit was connected to the wall." He said, "Same shit, different telephone." So, as old people, we gotta quit telling them how it used to be and start watching how it's gonna be. And I don't see, we could go to X102 and all our adventures out in space or whatever, but you gotta have some adventures at home. So I'm very proud to tell y'all, every record that you ever bought from us, you can come and stand in. And I mean that. You can come in our building and you could go to a class and take your kid to a class or whatever. And that's the future. It's not sometimes so far away. Sometimes it's a little closer to home. So that's my answer for that.
So, and this is great, obviously, it's touching. Mark, what is your relationship with this? Because you became, obviously, to make music and DJ, but now sometimes you also teach. So how is your relationship with this?
Well, I think it's very important, for the next generation to actually at least know where it came from, know how we started, and they can take it from there. I always tell kids, it's like who you're gonna pass your torch to. I said, I'm not gonna pass my torch. I'm going to keep my torch lit and help you light yours with the torch. So I want to make sure that these kids know the world they're dealing with out here. I taught like at Spin Inc. And I did this one venue. It's at a church, and it was like little kids there. And so I was coming to DJ, and one of these kids was, I think he was autistic, and he came, watch what I was doing, and then while I was talking to the other kids, he knew how to work the equipment like that fast. I watched him. I'm like, he's just. Have you seen these before? And he wouldn't even pay attention to me while I was talking. I was watching him pick the music, and mixing it together. He understood how this worked. So I told his mom, like, he picks up on this quickly. He's like, yeah, he's taking apart our radio at home. He's taking apart our TV. He takes things apart, and likes to see how things work. And so I start seeing, like, if that's just one child, imagine just from Detroit, just imagine 20 of them like that's out there that can do that. I want to see where it can go. I seen how far I could take it, but I want to see someone else do it. I don't want another Mark Flash. I watch someone better than me and take it from here, and keep going. I don't want to do this forever. And then the aspect I want to teach the kids is, what do you do with your finances when you do make money? You go out here and make money. What do you do? What do you do with your money? What are you going to do with it? They have to teach the kids how to invest in other things, in stock market or whatever. Teach them how to invest in different things, not just themselves and taking money and spending it. And when they get it, they'll spend it. They get it, they'll spend it. It's not going to help them. Because growing up, it didn't help me. I just took it and, they think that money is something you just buy things with. Not to invest in yourself and invest in your future, because you might like DJing now, but some people just like it because it's popular. But once that popularity goes down, then what? While you're here, make the money, invest it in case something does happen. You'll have a backup. You'll have a plan to do with your money, because it's not just about the fun out here. There's also another side, another financial side. And I want to teach children that before they get out here, what to do with their finances.
Yeah, this is really important very important to this. And there is something in my last book that is really important. My last book is called La Visione Techno, the vision techno. Techno as a vision. Techno not always as a genre, but the idea that is behind techno, and it's really connected to what Mike and Mark say. So once you have this idea, you can use it for everything you want in your life, in your music. And there are two things that are important, I think, in techno that it was taught by Detroit to us. The first is the concept of misuse. So to use the stuff that are concerned and made in a certain way, but to use it in a creative way. The DX7 was built for a thing, but obviously was used for another thing. The Ano9 was used for another thing. Probably the Japanese didn't think that there was someone would make it techno, and they make it techno. So, and this is one thing. But the other thing is the independence. So to be independent. This is something that obviously underground is a struggle since the first, and Detroit itself. They were managed and controlled by the majors. They are fight against the major always and try to be independent. So this introduction just to say that one of the things that was important for me, and especially when me and Marco Bassarani, when we arranged the first distribution, it was called Final Frontier in honor, obviously, of Final Frontier, the record, was that you can control all the steps of the production. So you realize the product, you make the graphics, you press your records, and then you distribute and you control your booking. Now obviously it's a little bit different, but in the past was very, very important, obviously, the distribution. I just would like to use this little space to remember the sister of Mike Banks that recently passed away. I'm sorry. And it was such an important figure for us because he made the packs of the records, shipping to the people, and this is something that really touched us. Obviously, it's something that is not possible now, but I know that Mike is a really reserved person, but I just would like that you make a stand and applause to her, because she did what is happening in the past for us.
Amen. Hey y'all, listen. Thank y'all for my sister shipped a whole lot of stuff over here. But all y'all gotta know we live in a city where corporations control the city. We don't have no mass transportation. Gotta drive a car. You know what I'm saying? If y'all allow corporations, the most dangerous thing is when corporations control art. I live in a city where our kids is programmed to go to prisons for profit. Prisons that are for profit. You're gonna be a gangster. You're gonna be a gangster. You're gonna shoot them up. You're gonna kill them up. You're gonna take your ass, go to prison, and get out the way. All I ask y'all is be conscious of when corporations start trying to control your art, your radio. Detroit is the future, and it's coming for y'all. The same shit that happened to us can happen to y'all. All this beautiful shit you got to be gone. It should get ate up. Your kids will be in prison working for free, because that's what we live in. So our message was not to, I'm no damn record genius, but I just figured, shit, you know, we put out our records, good or bad, put them out ourselves, because it's art and it goes right to the people. And I'm looking at all y'all now, and it got to you some kind of way, you know, through my sister. But I'm saying, you are is really like a warning. It's yeah, I mean, you can come to a city where it takes 2 hours to drive a car across the city. A city that doesn't recognize car culture. You know, Detroit invented car culture, but doesn't recognize it. You know, we build cars with 1,000 horsepower cars. Challengers, demons. I love racing, so I know what I'm talking about. Nowhere to race the car at. No automotive history museum. But it's always them old black folks fucking up everything. We always the scapegoat of everybody else's dumbass corporate shit. So don't let it happen to you. Drink some beer, come on to this party, and we're gonna twist some shit up. Good or bad, might fuck up, whatever. But the effort is what counts. When you making your tracks, all y'all making tracks, have fun doing it. Don't get too serious with it. Just have fun. If your shit feel good, it is good. That's all to it, you know. And hopefully y'all can see that tonight. Oh yeah, I'm gonna fuck up a whole lot. But when we get it, it'll be dead on it, and you'll feel it. It ain't nothing to talk about. You just feel it go, damn, man. That's when I step back and drink some beer like, yeah, that one worked.
All right.
I don't know what else we can talk about. I know a lot of people want to know about the early part of UR and me and Jeff and all that stuff. And Jeff is all into that stuff about writing books, and I don't know. I think, Jeff, the future man, I try to keep up with him. He came and taught a class to all our young upcoming producers. Because I said, okay, maybe if Jeff come and tell y'all, you'll listen to him, because I get frustrated sometimes. Jeff came, man, and I think he talked for about 2 or 3 hours and everything. Just what a good friend and a good guy. And he's so far in the future, man, sometimes I don't even know if it's hard to reel him back sometimes, you know. But he recently came back to Detroit and did a whole week-long thing. And I always want to take this time for him to know that I appreciate his friendship. He was like, Mike, you could do better than these cars, man. And at the time I was doing evictions, putting people out their house. So he's like, hey, man, you could do better than that, man. You got some talent. I was like, yeah, right. You know, and then we went to Germany and met Dimitri, and the shit went down, man. I didn't even know we was in East Germany. I didn't know where the hell we was at. It was a lot of fun, a lot of smiling faces, and I hope y'all can enjoy what happens tonight, what may happen or may not happen. But everybody that ever bought one of our records, please come on over, and you can see what $10 or whatever we charge for it bought. You know, it's some good shit going on. People learning things. And ain't it amazing how Techno Trackmaster Lou, made a sticker said, Techno brings people together. How the hell am I in Rome? You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm thinking about it. So it is that's better than the money, man. Just Coliseum, you can read about that shit in the Bible, like, damn, man, and then next thing you know, you're looking at it from music. So really amazing stuff. And on the real, y'all, we appreciate all y'all support over the years. And I don't know everybody by name, but I know you by feeling. And I'm hoping the spirits come and give us a good night tonight. All right.
So we don't have so much time, even if obviously I wrote to Cornelius and Mike, and then I didn't want to speak about the past. Obviously, all the time, speak about the past. But we have to speak about the future, because techno is about the future, the present, and so it's important to do this. I want to ask something to Mark. He did one of the greatest recent, in my opinion, obviously. You are released, the first one. I love it so much. It's amazing because it's a polyrhythm stuff you never heard. You always. In the past, obviously, I understood more about that records, But what is the future? I know that there are some new release coming and something that is going to happen. Speaking about the future, obviously.
Speaking about the future, I have a new label called Detroit Techno Funk Association. New release coming out next month, so thank you. But the record you were talking about, I think it's EP Brasilia. That came out from a conversation from me and Mike. We did this show at in Berlin at Maria's, and he's like, after the show, I played that, DJ there and everything. So when the show was done, we got back on the plane and come back. He said, I noticed that you didn't play any UR records that night. And I was like, yeah, and at that time, I wasn't that deep into it until, he told me how this works. He's like, look, then we can go home and let's make something that, that you can play. And I was like, I was trying, because I would make a track. But before this, I made a track and tried to show it to him. So he in the car, it's like, yeah, he was working on the, building whatever, and he's like, all right, let me hear it. Heard the track. And he said, you want me to be honest with you? I was like, yeah. He's like, man, this is some bullshit. He's like, this is some bull. We've already done this. Quit playing what you hear. Like, we've already done that. You're hearing and that. Like, I want to hear how you sound. It took me a long time, almost 10 years, to get from my sound. I didn't know what my sound was. He said, the rhythms and things, like my family's from, I got South America in my family, so he said, take those rhythms and digitize them. Like, the rhythms don't have to be drums, they can be any sound. And that clicked. Someone need to say that to me. Like, you can go through years, someone can try to tell you, how to do things, but one person will tell you something that clicks. And that right there clicked. And so I did that one and then turned it in when I let him hear it. He's like, the track that I didn't want him to hear, that's the track he liked the most. That one right there was, what was that one? Razuli. Yeah, and that one was just weird. It's just a weird off track, whatever. And that's the one he was like, yeah, like that. That's my sound. That's like my sound. So now all of my tracks have my sound. I can put my sound in it. I can tell when someone else listens to my records and they make a track. I can tell that they listen to mine because I know my sound. It's like a child. You know your child. I know my sound. And so he helped me develop that sound. So when you hear that, that's from that. That's from my father and Mike Banks. That's how it comes out. You need these mentors. You're always going to need a mentor if you want to get through this business. And so I have one of the best. So that's it. Thanks.
Hey, y'all. Yeah, he ain't lying. It's a soul search, man. This shit is a soul search. You actually find out who you are. Like on you are when they find themselves, Robert Hood or James Pennington, any of them, you get a number. Because you know, most of us don't know our real name. My name, I don't know what Michael Banks means. That's some slave shit. You know, so the only way I really know who we are is your sound identify. It's like DNA. And trust me, although we are futurists, me and Jeff talked about it. I think beats travel through DNA. If a big ass snake came out here right now, we'd all go, damn. But how do we know that? Something that we know, a snake or a lion or something, it ain't good for humans. You know, it's like I need to get away from that. Well, if fear, I challenge y'all with this, if fear can travel through DNA, everybody's scared of spiders, rats, shit like that. If fear can travel through DNA, why can't beats? So, I think that whole Drexy and all that, that's what all that was. It was like, you know, the journey home. The beats never really left. They was always there. And I think a lot of people break their hand patting themselves on the back about, I did this and I did that. You have to ask yourself a question. When you see a woman or a man you like, is that you that like them, or is it your DNA that likes them? Is it selecting who you like? So if I hear a beat, is it me hearing the beat, or is it my DNA say I need to talk to people? I need to talk to somebody right now. So something to be explored, something to look at in the future. But everybody got deep roots and deep DNA, this especially in this place. So if you guys are searching for yourself, maybe the future is inside. You know.
Yeah, no. Keep the mic, because I would like to say that the last question, the last topic, because obviously you have to go, and it was great to have you here. But I have asked for the future to Mark, and I would like to ask you for the future of you are to you, because obviously I know that there are some projects, some construction project. You are building something in Detroit. Obviously, if people want to come to Detroit, please go to Submerge, because it's the home of Detroit techno. But I know that Mike is making something new, so I would like to speak about this and then other possible projects that we don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I was a participant along with Marco Passarani in the Red Bull Music Academy, and you know, Cornelius talked me into going. I was like, man, I don't want to go there. You know, but I'm gonna tell you, man, it was the closest thing to being on Star Trek I'll ever be. Multi-racial, multi-ethnic, sharp people from all over the world. And the most beautiful thing about the Red Bull Music Academy was all the kids had a WhatsApp thread. And, you know, even after the academy, these threads are still existing. These people from all over the world talking to each other. And like my boy Trackmaster Lou said, techno brings people together. If we are together, it's real hard for fascist regimes and other political things that I don't want to fuck with right now. But it's hard to separate people if they all united, like George Clinton said. All united under the groove, you know what I'm saying? Funking under one groove. So I think that's what we're doing here, and it's kind of a new, not a new race, but a new mindset of human beings this music is evolving into, and everybody recognize everybody, straight, gay, trans, whatever. None of us care about that type of shit. We just here living. And I believe the music is the catalyst for not outer space or nothing, but a better coming tomorrow. That's the best way I could put it.
Yeah, always amazing to listen to Mark Banks, and obviously
amazing
Mark.
Beer too.
Yeah, this is beer too.
Need some more of this. Refill.
And we can take another one, obviously. So, I would like to say really a big thank to Mark Flash and Mike Banks to stay with us. They are the past because just chronological things, but they are most important the future and the present of Detroit techno. And it's an incredible time that they are here tonight. So please come tonight to see what these guys has to tell us with the sounds and beats like they do since eons. Thanks a lot, and thanks to you. Viva Underground Resistance, always.